With the recent announcement of Bleach Rebirth of Souls, we already had 2 trailers, the reveal trailer and a gameplay trailer. Well, just this morning, we got not 1, not 2, but 3 new trailers, specifically character trailers. And it showed their gameplay and also the different mechanics between different characters. And I'm going to cover it all in this video. I'm your boy Kaizen, like, subscribe, and let's get into it. And don't forget to check my socials in the description below. I yap a lot on Twitter, stuff I don't talk about on my channel. And also, I start streaming on Twitch, so check that out. But anyways, let's get straight into the video. So firstly, let's talk about that Ichigo trailer. And by the way, I'm going to be playing the trailers in the background, matching trailers for what I'm talking about. So yeah. So firstly, his trailer starts out with, you know, the little cinematics and then a little description. It says, a very powerful and resourceful infighter. Ichigo is a substitute soul reaper who fights using his sword and hides an unknown power within him. And yeah, that's Ichigo for you, like, we know what he is. And it seems like he's more of a close range fighter, which is what they're going for. And by the way, I'm going to be talking about that more later. It seems that there's different categories of characters, like range types, close-up types, and yeah. So we can see he starts off fighting Renji, and it seems like Renji is like the test dummy for this entire like trilogy of trailers. And then there's like a little pause sequence where it says, reverse. Reverse action is the key to offense and defense in this game. In addition to the effects of the normal reverse action, Ichigo is given various enhancements, such as a boost in basic performance, changes in some actions, and an increase in damage from the Kikon move. So yeah, he's pretty standard. I'm pretty sure he's like the starter character, so they made him quite simple. They continue to go on to distinctive techniques. And then there's another pause and it says special flash attack, which I believe is one of Ichigo's special moves, like probably hold L1 and square or something. And it says a move that attacks while charging forward. When successfully executed, the attack can be continued if an additional input is made during the attack. So basically it's like a lunging forward kind of slash or attack, sorry, a flash attack. And if you're successful, then you can have a follow-up attack. And then there's what they're calling his spiritual pressure move, and it seems like all of the characters have this, but yeah, his Ichigo's one. It's called wielding. And by the way, I'm not going over the whole like deep mechanics because I did do another video on that, going over the whole gameplay trailer, which may not go over the individual moves that are in this video. That's what this video is for, but it goes over the overall gameplay. So do check that video out. It's the one posted just before this one, and it will be linked at the end of this video. But yeah, wielding. An attack used by wielding Zangetsu that momentarily makes Ichigo invincible. An invincible move, that's interesting. An additional powerful attack is activated when it successfully hits. So once again, if you're successfully able to land this move, so I'm guessing you won't always be successful of course, then there's a follow-up attack. So yeah, that's really cool. And they do show it on screen. I think the wielding part is when Ichigo spins Zangetsu around, I'm not sure. But yeah, then there's a little flash thing, so I'm not sure which one is the follow-up attack or if they just decided to go with a flash step. But yeah, in this trailer, I mean. Next, we go over the awakening, which is what obviously we're all excited to see. And of course, no surprise, Ichigo yells, Bankai! I'm not a voice actor. But yeah, awakening. And then they show a little description for Ichigo's awakening, in this case his Bankai. And it says, Ichigo's performance, speed, and defense dramatically increases, as well as the number of additional special flash attacks, allowing for more aggressive attacks to be carried out. So pretty straightforward stuff. I mean, he is a starter character, so that's to be expected. And yeah, basically it just makes him better, and makes him faster, and great defensively as well. And yeah, allows for more of the special flash attacks, which I believe they showed. It's like the black slashes, I think. And yeah, it's faster and obviously more flashy. But then they show a little glimpse of Hollow Ichigo, and they don't talk about it much, but it seems that's his reawakening, which they do mention in Uryu's trailer, which we're going to go over later. But yeah, then at the end they show a little description of Ichigo, like his character type, and they do that for all 3 characters. But for Ichigo it says high damage to the opponent and easy to handle. And that's the end of his trailer. And it was pretty straightforward, and it seems what they're going for him is a starter character. And it's really interesting that we basically know he's going to go into Hollow Ichigo. This version of Ichigo turns into Hollow Ichigo, and that's his, what they're calling a reawakening. We know it's called a reawakening because of Uryu's trailer, which I'm going to cover later on. But yeah, that's pretty much it for that one. Next we have another Soul Reaper, an ice user. And no, I'm not talking about Captain Hitsugaya. I'm talking about Rukia, one of the best females in Bleach, and one of my favorite female characters in all of anime, I think. Which is a big feat because I've watched way too much anime in my lifetime. But yeah, obviously it starts off with her little cinematic, and this should be playing in the background, by the way. Yeah, Squad 13, Sodeno Shirayuki or whatever. And her little description says, a kind-hearted soul reaper with an old-fashioned way of speaking. She has plenty of resources to adapt to her opponents in battle. And yeah, it shows her like doing her Zanpakuto. It seems like she's like a balanced character or something, I'm not sure. But yeah, so it starts off with her slashing Renji. Of course, he's a test dummy again, which is very fitting because that's how he is in the show. He's kind of like a punching bag. I'm sorry, Renji fans, I had to say it. And then yeah, straight off the bat, we're going on to her first signature move, is what they're calling it. And what I love about her trailer is that it's heavily focused on hardos, which is a big part of her character. Obviously, many characters in Bleach, in fact, all of the Soul Reapers are capable of doing hardos, but if you've watched Bleach, you know Rukia does a lot of this, especially early in the show. And yeah, so firstly is hardo number 31. I might butcher some of these names, but Shakaho, and it says create combos and various forms of power with the Shakaho, whatever, by holding the import. And basically what it is you just hold it down and it shoots fireballs. Very simple, especially if you played any like arena fighters, any Dragon Ball game. It's like firing ki blasts, and of course you can do a follow-up attack. Then we go into her spiritual pressure moves. The first one, hardo number 4, Byakurai, if I pronounced that pretty well. Released while stepping backwards, Byakurai makes Rukia momentarily invincible. Another invincible move. I've seen a lot of people point out that maybe invincible moves are going to be for the Soul Reaper type characters, and then counter moves are going to be for the Quincy's, which we'll see later on in this video. Byakurai makes Rukia momentarily invincible, allowing for punishing attacks. And then you can see in the visuals it's her like doing a step back and then a quick like a little blast. I guess it's to create distance, and I think you can do it after hitting them, or I can't tell if she first hits Renji and then does the little step back, or if she does the little step back and then a follow-up attack. But then we go into her second spiritual pressure move. I really love the variety in the moveset and the whole reversals and then the specials and the whole spiritual pressure moves. I love that about this game. The mechanics seem very interesting and not just one-dimensional. But yeah, hardo number 33, Sokatsui, I think I said that right. A follow-up attack that can be used after Rukia lunges and slashes successfully. And we can see in the visual like she slashes Renji and then it does like the little step back and attack. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Then we have her awakening, so we can see her getting slashed up by Renji, and she goes into that whole like crazy face that anime girls do or anime characters do, and it says reverse fate. And then we see a cool little cinematic visual of her like having the icy breath, and she obviously activates her Shikai. We're not going to get Bankai in this game, at least not in the base game, because the game's not going that far into the story. But yeah, awakening, overturn the tide of battle. And then there's a little description for her awakening, and she says the name, I think it's like oh my god, I can't even say it. Sodeno Shirayuki, I think. It says releasing Shikai. Oh, here it is. Sodeno Shirayuki. I did say it right. Strengthens Rukia's overall capabilities and transforms her spiritual pressure moves to complement Sodeno. Oh my god. Sodeno Shirayuki, yeah. So it just powers up the move more, and you can see like more icy visuals and whatnot. And it's really cool. I do think I'll be using Rukia a lot in this game, but then again we'll see what other characters we're going to get. And then her little description is Rukia Kuchiki Squad 13, strong restraint and an array of abilities for many situations. So that's why I think she's a balanced type, which is pretty cool. Everyone loves a balanced type character. And that's about it for her trailer. Next we go into what might be the most interesting one because it's the most unique one, and that is the Quincy Uryu Ishida. So going on to Quincy's one, it says Quincy Cross and it plays a little cinematic with his bow, which looks really cool, really reflective. Then we see a little description. It says a proud Quincy who pierces his enemies using a variety of long range attacks. Shocker, Uryu's a range type. Who would have thought it? And yeah, by the way, keep in mind this is pre-Thousand Year Blood War arc Uryu, before he's all emo. Well, technically he was always emo, but this is when he's like a pretty chill guy. In fact, it looks like he's in his Soul Society fit, like he's got that little glove, which is one of like the fan favorites, especially the Mayuri fight, which we're going to talk about that in a bit. So yeah, it shows Uryu, the Quincy, like a little close up. And straight off the bat, it starts off with spiritual pressure move number 1, which is, I don't know why they went straight to that. I don't know if they're skipping moves or he just doesn't have it. I mean, he's a different type of character, but... So yeah, spiritual pressure move number 1, Quincy arrow, obviously. Fires an arrow forward. If the arrow hits the opponent, Uryu uses, oh my god, how do I say this? Hirenkyaku, oh I think I said that well. To move in front of the opponent, and does a follow-up attack that fires numerous arrows. So basically he fires the arrow, and if you hit it straight on the mark, he does like this little jump and fires a few more arrows, which is really cool. You know, it lets off more damage. So you gotta time it well, and you know, make sure it lands so you can do as much damage as possible and extend your combos, I guess. Next spiritual pressure move, so the visuals carry on. It shows Ichigo like strike Uryu, but then he activates this move, which I'm gonna try and pronounce, but you should see it on screen now, a screenshot. I think it's called Celeste Snyder. By holding Celeste Snyder, I'm just gonna call it Celeste Snyder, Uryu absorbs an opponent's attack and fires back a powerful attack of his own. So basically what happens is Ichigo, it's not Renji this time, it's Ichigo, he tries to slash Uryu and he activates this move which gets his like little spirit sword out. If you remember in the show, he has a little sword and that absorbs the attack and then it launches Ichigo backwards and then Uryu then fires off an arrow. Next we have Uryu's awakening. So you see Ichigo slashes Uryu and he goes into panic mode and it says reverse fate, which reversals seem to be the theme of this game, or at least the promo so far. And obviously we see the little visuals, the cool little awakening sequence. And then it says awakening. By activating Anso Tengai, Uryu enhances his damage output and the amount of spiritual power he can acquire, making it easier to use his spiritual pressure move. So I guess in this state, using his spiritual pressure moves, which is all they've shown so far, they didn't show the signature moves, it's just much easier to land them and it looks like he's faster in the visuals. But what's interesting about Uryu's trailer is that they actually show his reawakening, like they name drop it and everything, and I like that. It seems like we're gonna get that for Byakuya as well. Since we got another trailer for Ichigo and Rukia, they're probably gonna do another one for Byakuya and do the reawakening for Shuke Hakutaiken, I think it's called. But yeah, for him it is I believe it's the one that he uses against Captain Mayuri in the Soul Society arc, which is one of the best. I know a lot of people like say it's overrated. I believe it's still to this day is one of the best fight scenes in all of Bleach. One of Uryu's best moment, if not his best moment so far. And yeah, a lot of people think that he shouldn't have got his powers back. Spoiler alert, he did lose his powers for a bit there because of how powerful it was. But you have to understand, in that moment he was the strongest in the arc, or at least out of the characters that actually showed their power. So obviously not Shunsui and Aizen. And yeah, the little description for that is strong with ranged attacks that can be performed unilaterally to keep opponents at bay. So I guess this just like really powers up his attacks even more so than the original awakened form, and also it just lands the attacks much more. And I'm wondering, like, one thing they haven't really shown much of, if not at all, in this game, in the trailer so far, is an ultimate attack. And obviously we know what Uryu's ultimate attack would be. It would be like the final move he did against Mayuri's Bankai and finished him off. And I believe it's possible that in the end of the last trailer, which I'm going to link my breakdown of at the end of this video, when they showed Ichigo and Byakuya do their final slashes, that could have been their ultimate attacks slashing each other. Keep in mind that was likely from the story mode, so obviously like when you're playing a PvP mode or whatever, it won't be like the final attack on whatever it is. Although it could, maybe you could do that and whoever has the least Konpaku bars left loses. Although then again, it seems that when they're in these awakened forms and that whole reversal state, they can take away more Konpakus. So we'll see. Maybe it's all about the numbers, you know, it's a numbers game. But yeah, honestly, that wraps up Uryu's trailer, by the way. And with all that said, like, it's clear that this game has made an extra effort to not just be a one-dimensional copy and pasted anime 3D arena file. And that's all we could have asked for. And I said this in my last video, which once again is going to be linked at the end of this video, and I'll say it again. We still need to see uncut, raw combat gameplay, and to a high level, not just like devs who don't know what they're doing. We need to see like high level gameplay, competitive gameplay, not competitive as in esports, but competitive as in like two players who know what they're doing, utilizing every aspect of the gameplay, and we want to see no edits. And I'm not complaining about that, I'm saying we're gonna get that, but I'm saying we won't be able to completely judge it until we get that. And of course like a playable demo or something, because it's clear that there's so much edits in the trailer so far, and with so many like different mechanics, we don't really see proper combos and we don't see like the flow of battle. Because one of the best aspects of the Storm series is the fluidity of the battle, but also the movements itself is one of the things that separate the Storm series from other, like, I don't want to say trash, but mid 3D arena fighters. I'm not saying the Storm series is perfect. In fact, I'm saying this as someone who, not in a serious way, but kind of jokingly, is a Naruto hater. I'm a One Piece fan and Dragon Ball fan, so yeah. The Storm series does great. And yeah, if it's anything like that movement, then we're eating good. Because in terms of like actual combat mechanics, it seems that some people are saying they're making it overcomplicated, but I'm saying I like the fact that it's unique and not one-dimensional, and I'm very curious to see how it all plays out, and we're gonna find out more. And as for the actual gameplay, which they did show in their last reveal, the gameplay overview reveal, I did a breakdown on that and you should see it on screen now, so do check that out. Like, subscribe. I'm really aiming for 1,000 subs this year, and I'm about to hit 600. In fact, when you see this, I might have 600. If not, to help me hit that 600 mark. I'm really trying to hit 1,000 this year, hopefully by October even, but that could be challenging. And yeah, I do want to start streaming. I did a test stream on Twitch recently, so do follow me there, and I might stream on this channel as well. Not too much because I don't want to, you know, ruin your sub feed. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter, where I yap about all sorts of other things like anime and games that I might not mention on this channel, but I still like, so you can connect with me more on there. And yeah, I've been your boy Kaizen. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.